Charizard or Rayquaza, Mew or Pikachu. There's so many tough decisions that you have to make when you're buying Pokemon cards, specifically when you want them to appreciate in value, so it's an investment, right? So today we're going to talk about some of those tough decisions you have to make, and we're actually going to put some cards up against each other head to head and see which ones we should buy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, TCG Funhouse, where we talk all things Pokemon TCG. And yes, it is Monday, and you guys know what that means. We're going to be talking about Pokemon investing and building that amazing scrumdiddlyumptious Pokemon TCG collection. And we're going back to the head-to-head videos. I posted a couple of these before, and you guys really enjoyed them. So we're going to be doing the tiered rankings again, to where there's a $5 tier, $10 tier, $20, $50, and $100 tiers, and taking one card of Vintage and one card of Modern and deciding which one we should buy for that tier. And it's going to be so much fun, guys. You really enjoyed the conversation last time, and we're going to do it again with all new cards. And if you're new to the channel, guys, please drop a sub. We post Pokemon-related content 3 times per week. I was going to say every day. That's not true. 3 times per week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here at 2 p.m. Eastern. And it is every day if you enjoy shorts. So make sure you guys slap that sub like you'll slap your mama at a good barbecue. That was a really weird statement. We are not going to be going back to that type of conversation. I apologize to all of the mothers out there. But let's dive right in, guys. We're going to be starting with the $5 tier right now. And the Modern card we have selected is the Rayquaza GX Ultra Rare from Celestial Storm, going head-to-head with actually a little small conglomerate of cards. The Johto Starters First Edition from Neo Genesis. That's right, guys. You can get some First Edition Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita cards. I had to think about the starters. I was like, who are they? Because I'm on the spot in front of the camera, but it's okay. We will get to the destination. That's right, First Edition, guys. I love First Edition cards, but it's going up against one of the most powerhouse Pokemon for the Pokemon TCG, and that is Rayquaza. And even though Rayquaza is a powerhouse, I'm going with the First Edition starters in this case, just because they're First Edition. I love First Edition cards. I love adding them to my collection. And anytime you're getting starters and Pokemon of importance in their First Edition forms, I think it is extraordinarily important. Rayquaza really is a fantastic card, but it's only the ultra rare in this case. If we were able to get our hands on like a full art or like a Rayquaza tag team, if there was one in this sort of a slot, it would win. But because it's just a standard GX card from one of, you know, probably the more, I don't want to say mediocre sets, because Celestial Storm was a great set, but it was definitely no Team Up or Cosmic Eclipse from the Sun and Moon era. And Neo Genesis is a very nostalgic set. It's the first time, the first print run of these Johto starters in any Pokemon from the Johto region. So when you add all that together, these starters just mean more to me. And plus, like, when you're flipping through your binder and you see those First Edition cards, it's just like, yo, what up, dog? That's my dog right there. That's my dog, that First Edition. I'm going to bring it back down, I promise. But here at the $5 tier, that's why I'm going with the starters. It's just, there's a couple of different reasons, but they take the cake here in tier number 1. Tier 2 is the ever important $10 tier, because that's really that tier where you're okay spending the money without thinking about it too much. But at the same token, it's not like a $1 or $2 card, and they could have a lot of potential. And the Modern card we have selected is Zekrom and Pikachu Tag Team GX Alternate Art Black Star promo that came inside of the 10, going up against the Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu First Edition from Gym Challenge. That's right, guys. We're going back to First Edition once again, and even farther back than Neo Genesis and Gym Challenge. That being said, I'm still going with the Zekrom and Pikachu Tag Team Alternate Art here. I just think it has a very, very high ceiling. I think all of the Sun and Moon Tag Team Alternate Art promo cards have a very high ceiling. There's Snorlax and Eevee, Reshiram and Charizard, Brixen and Charizard. They all have different versions that were printed in different types of boxes or tins. And I think they're all worth picking up. I think they all have a pretty decent high ceiling. And the Zekrom and Pikachu are actually some of my favorites because when you're adding Pikachu to your collection, it's a mascot Pokemon, right? Everybody knows Pikachu, and it's very recognizable. So even grandmothers who see a Pokemon card with Pikachu on it, they recognize what it is, right? As opposed to going with lesser, more popular, or less popular Pokemon. And the fact that you can get an alternate art here, almost like the alternate arts that started, you know, the big wave of alternate arts that we got in Sword and Shield, were these Black Star promos at the tail end of the Sun and Moon era. So the alternate arts are just absolutely phenomenal artworks, and I think they're going to mean a lot to Pokemon down the road because I really don't see them stopping the print runs of alternate arts. I think they're going to move that into Generation 9 as well. At least I hope so. So when you can pick up these OG alternate arts in the Sun and Moon era, I know you guys are like, oh, there was already alternate arts way back. Yeah, I know, I get it. But the style that they're in right now with the texture and all of that stuff started in the Sun and Moon era. Plus, I just love tag team cards. Like, I would take tag team cards all day over tons of different types. So here at the $10 tier, I'm going with the Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team Alternate Art GX Black Star promo. We're kicking it up a notch to the $20 tier where you really start to second guess whether or not you want to buy a card because you can get a nice little lunch, you know, for 20 bucks, you know, like a real good lunch, like, you know, that, okay. Anyway, yeah, so modern card, we're going with Celebrations Shining Magikarp 25th Anniversary reprint, going head to head with the Jolteon Holographic Rare from EX Unseen Forces. That is a very interesting matchup, and I had a hard time selecting this one, but I gotta go with the Jolteon holographic card, and that's simply because evolutions are just like on top of the world right now, and I really don't see them cooling off or coming down whatsoever. So I think anytime you're adding evolutions to your collection, it's a good decision, especially some of these older ones where people don't really remember too much about them. It's like, oh, that's a really sweet holographic Jolteon card, to where like with the Celebrations Shining Magikarp, it's like the second time we've gotten that card. So the one problem I have with Celebrations is all, minus the Golden Mew, all these cards are reprints, right? So why would I invest my money in a knockoff, right? A reprint of a card when I can go buy the standard card, right? I get it for the base set reprints, right? Because they're very, very important cards in the Pokemon TCG history, and that's kind of what they were going for the whole set, but a lot of it just doesn't matter, right? And the Shining Magikarp kind of falls under that for me. It is a very popular card, but it's yes, the regular Shining Magikarp is significantly more expensive, but not the same kind of difference you see between a base set Charizard or base set Blastoise and the Celebrations cards. So the ceiling on that card is just not very high for me. I mean, would you really expect this reprint of Shining Magikarp to be $60 in 10, 12 years? Because I definitely don't. To where I can really see this Jolteon holographic as it ages and as it gets older and Pokemon Company continues to push Eevee and Evolutions down our throat. I can really see that card increasing in price and having a higher ceiling than the reprint Shining Magikarp. But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I love talking with you guys down there, whether you guys agree with me or disagree with me on certain selections. Let me know all 5 slots. Which one would you choose in this conversation? $50 tier now, and we have officially reached that section where you kind of have to ask your significant other, like, can I buy this $50 card? Like, how upset would you be at me? Like, how many chores would I have to do to buy this card? And again, modern versus vintage, guys. Modern, we're kind of going similar to the conversation I had earlier, okay? Modern, I'm going with Blastoise and Piplup Tag Team GX alternate art from Cosmic Eclipse. Not Black Star promo like the Pikachu and Zekrom. And this is inside of a set, probably the best set, one of my favorite sets of the Sun and Moon era in Cosmic Eclipse. And they're going head to head, guys, with Lucario Level X from Mysterious Treasures. And this is a tough one for me because you guys know how much I love Lucario, and a lot of people love Lucario, actually. He's a massive fan favorite. But I have to go the alternate art once again for a lot of the same reasons that I talked about with the Pikachu and Zekrom. People forget about these Sun and Moon alternate arts, and they are so phenomenal. And they were actually quite rare. There's tons of these alternate arts inside Cosmic Eclipse with the Lunala, Solgaleo, Zekrom, Reshiram, and the Blastoise and Piplup, and there were actually very, very rare cards in the set compared to some of the other chase cards that you could get. And you put that up against Lucario Level X holographic with the silver borders from Unseen Forces, fan favorite, right? Level X's, people, they were like the first change of like ultra rare, right? Like you had your holos, and then all of a sudden we're getting some EXs, and then EXs turned to these Level X cards where it was like, oh, now we're getting some spicy action in the TCG here. But I'm still going with the Blastoise and Piplup here just because I think the ceiling is so high on these Sun and Moon alternate art cards. I think they're all extraordinarily undervalued in my opinion, right? So if we have a Leafeon VMAX alternate art going for $140 right now from Evolving Skies, don't you think that something like a Blastoise and Piplup, I don't say would go up to that price, but at $50 is undervalued, right? So the tag team cards are very special to a lot of people. And then on top of that, Blastoise it's a Kanto starter. And anytime you're introducing Kanto starters into the mix, it automatically gets bumped up over a lot of different type of Pokemon. And then you add in Piplup, another starter as well, another fan favorite starters, probably a lot of people's favorite water starter after Squirtle is Piplup right there. But Lucario has so much power, man. So much power, so much fandom based around it. And this is really like the first big Lucario card. It is technically it's like the most expensive Lucario card when you take out staff promos, right? So staff promos always carry a premium. And when you take the staff promos out of the mix, this is the most expensive number one Lucario card. So every Lucario fan wants this card, and it is the chase for Lucario fans. Which would make it very easy to unload in the future, and you got to remember that. But the alternate arts are just so good. The artwork on this Blastoise and Piplup is just so good. People were freaking out about this card when it first released, and I'm surprised how far it has fallen in the pecking order, because it was up there as like the third or fourth most expensive card, and it is now like the sixth or seventh most expensive card, which was surprising to me for Cosmic Eclipse. But still my choice, guys. Let me know what you would choose down in the comments. All right, guys, we have reached that big dog tier, that $100 tier, to where if you're dropping this kind of cash on a Pokemon card, you must really, really love it or really, really think that it's going to go up in price. And the modern card that we've selected is none other than the Galarian Moltres alternate art from Chilling Reign. That beautiful silver border, black and red, just pops amazing. Almost reminds you of like a Ho-Oh artwork. Like you would totally see them print a Ho-Oh artwork in this, but instead it's Galarian Moltres going up against Southern Islands Mew. That's right, guys. The Southern Islands, like reverse holos, like the first time we really got a good look at like what a reverse holo could look like, where instead of the Pokemon picture being holo, the border and like text area is holo. So very significant card in that regards. I've chosen so many alternate arts tonight, and I'm been struggling with this one because Galarian Moltres has gone up $20 in the past 2 months. 2 months ago, you could consistently get this card for about $84 to $85, and it is now at $108 over on TCG Player. And the market price on the Southern Islands Mew is $98, in between $98 and $104, depending on which buyer you're getting it from. This is tough. I gotta go with the Mew. I gotta go with the Mew here. I gotta go vintage. I know I've been bouncing back and forth between modern and vintage, and I chose two other alternate arts earlier, but I gotta go with the Mew, and here's what I'm thinking, okay? The Galarian Moltres is fantastic. One of the best artworks of the Sword and Shield era, if not the best artwork from the Sword and Shield era. But the Pokemon itself doesn't have the fandom based around it that I look for, right? It doesn't touch nostalgia bones. It's not a regular Moltres. And, you know, if it was a regular Moltres, it probably would not carry this price tag. I don't really know the connection that people have with the Galarian form birds, right? The legendary birds from Kanto are very, very well known. And yes, this is the first time we got like regional variant legendaries. And people enjoyed them for the most part, but what's the connection? And that's my fear with Chilling Reign as a whole, and even some of these trainer gallery cards that are coming out, is what's the connection that people actually have? Because I would still just rather prefer regular old Moltres, you know? To where Mew here, Mew is Mew. Like, it is the epitome of nostalgia. And this Mew card for Southern Islands is one of the cutest cards ever printed in the Pokemon TCG. And there's an entire niche for that. There's an entire niche of collectors that only collect cute cards. And this one is like the top dog in terms of cute cards. And I really just see the Southern Islands Mew just being a more important card in the Pokemon TCG at the end of the day. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when you're holding two cards up, what is the buyer going to want? Are they going to want the Galarian Moltres alternate art, or the Southern Islands Mew that's 20 years older than the Moltres card that we're talking about? So even though I think alternate arts are fantastic, the Galarian Moltres, I don't know if it's going to continue its rise like it has, and I don't know if it's going to hold the stature that the Southern Islands Mew will down the road. So I got to go with the Mew here in this selection at the $100 tier, and I really want that card. Like, I really want that Southern Islands Mew. If you guys want to hook me up at a good price, let me know. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for hanging out with me today on the head-to-head matchups for Pokemon investing. I love these types of conversations, guys. I had a very dry mouth today, so I kept doing that kind of weird thing. So no need to let me know in the comment section. I know I was doing it. I was doing eating a warhead or something. But if you guys are new to the channel, please slap that subscribe button, guys. We post Pokemon TCG content 3 times per week, plus shorts almost every single day. And don't forget, guys, we live stream every single Friday here. Box breaks, over 15, 16, 17 different pack options from English and Japanese Pokemon cards every single Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Plus, we always have giveaways, and I have a huge announcement for an amazing giveaway coming to one of those live streams. So stay tuned, guys, or check me out on my socials so you don't miss it. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.